You're going to get some shapes, and you're going to measure their length, width, and height, and then tell me the volume. A higher activity to this is they're going to give you the volume, and you've got to tell me one of those dimensions.
My goal always as their fifth grade teacher is to make them more responsible and more independent. You know, leaving elementary school where you've been at for 6 years is a huge jump for them. And I always tell them this is the school that you will spend the most time in your life in elementary school versus middle school 3 years, high school 4 years, college 4 years. You will spend most of your educational time here. And getting ready for that next step is so important. Building independence, building responsibility, advocating for themselves. Those are things that I feel like I tell them in fifth grade, I'm spoon feeding you. And then eventually you've got to figure it out on your own. You know, I say, pull out your assignment notebooks, let's write this down. And then eventually you need to do that on your own. You need to be, you're the person in charge.
You went back to a teacher who inspired you and you let them know that they had an influence on your life. Have you ever had the opposite happen to where a former student of yours has come up to you and said, you inspired me?
I have a scrapbook I keep of all my kids, of our school pictures and personal notes or things that they gave me or that remind me of them when they were in my classroom, and they like coming back and seeing them. Or sometimes I'll snap a picture and send it to them, do you remember when you were this little? So it makes me proud to see those kind of things. And it makes me feel good knowing that they remember that I was their teacher or that they had good experiences or good memories here at Pioneer. Not necessarily what I taught them, but the experience of being in our classroom.
Yet on the other hand, when those moments happen, do you think, oh my goodness, where have all these years gone?
Oh my gosh, one of my former students she's married and she's having her first child, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And 2 years ago, I had a former student's son. And that really hit home. She came to conferences and I was like, oh my gosh. And I pulled out the yearbook and I was like, do you remember when you were in fourth grade here? I'm like, your son is just like you. When it comes full circle like that, it is awesome. And especially in this district to see that people stay in the community and that their children are coming to our school now is heartwarming. I love it.
This is your 25th year teaching in the classroom. What's the biggest change that's been made in meeting the social and emotional needs of students?
We see more of a community here. So we didn't talk about our feelings or building community as much as we do now in the last 10 years. Really getting to know our class and getting to know our kids and sharing those personal things to make them feel safe here, to make them feel that they are as much a part of it as we are. So that's changed. At the beginning, when I first started taught, it was teacher, student. Sage on stage, you listen and take notes. And now it's more, kids are responsible for their learning. I'm kind of the facilitator of what goes on in here.
You can write this as a decimal. This is from Module 4, no? Oh, what am I going to times these by? Yes, 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 yes.
What are some of the adjustments your students make for you because of your physical limitations?
If you look around my classroom, we're in straight rows because of COVID, but we're also in one of the bigger classrooms. So they have to make sure nothing's on the floor that I can get around to. They have to understand that, sometimes I drop stuff and I'm picking it up or I'm asking them to pick it up, and I walk around with these big little man claws to pick up things off of the floor. I always tell them that, I do have some limitations. So sometimes when I want to pull the map down, they're the ones pulling the map down, or they're getting a supply that I can't reach to. But, or they're holding open a door. I feel like they figure it out on their own, and they're also very empathetic. So if they see something I'm struggling with, or they know I'm having a hard time with, or they'll ask me questions sometimes. But I think the adaptability kind of just comes naturally. I'm really honest about my disability, and I talk to them about it early on in the beginning of the school year. And I feel like that answers a lot of questions or makes them feel more comfortable. And they've seen me in the building since they've been in kindergarten, so they know that I'm a teacher here. They know that I can do pretty much everything else that another teacher can. I think the limitations we talk about sometimes when we go to recess, I can't go on wood chips, so I can't play like I used to, or that kind of things. And sometimes I have a walkie-talkie with me to make sure that if something were to happen and I need an adult outside, that I have it there. But I feel like my kids are just naturally, they pick up on instinct. And so I don't know if they see me as much in the wheelchair as much as maybe I think they do.